Hello, hello, hello. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in the chat, leave a comment. We're going to have a fascinating discussion today. It was a missing link that I was searching for a very long time. And I'm so happy I found this missing link. So happy I found this missing link. As you come and leave the, as you come in, leave a comment. Hannah, if it doesn't take too long, I may bring you in, but I think I have all the data that I need. Okay. So I'm waiting for you to come in. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Trust me. Today, I think you guys are going to be really, you're going to be ahead of the game. Trust me. Hello, fellow Trini. Did you eat roti today? I wish I did. I wish I could get some roti. All right. So let's share the screen. We got a lot of work to cover. Okay. We got a lot of work to cover. All right. Let me just say something here. I do not believe in physical violence. No physical violence, no attacking people, no breaking of laws. Yes, there is a time when people unfortunately have to use some form of violence. That is called self-defense, when someone is trying to hurt, harm, or kill you. Let me just say this again. I do not believe in acts of violence. I do believe more can be accomplished spiritually than can be accomplished physically. But I do believe there's a time when people must physically act, right? So let me just say this again, because I can get passionate. Okay. However, I do not practice physical violence. Let me say this again. I do not practice, nor do I incite physical violence. When I say revolt or rebel, okay, when I say revolt or rebel, I mean turn away. I mean take your money and go elsewhere. Take your energy and go elsewhere. Take your time. Strip the abusive system of your time and your money. Roll call. Connor, Con, Tim, Don, Linda, Sherry, Patrick, AJ, Tony, Christina, Rachel, Benjamin, Patrick, Zuri. Okay? So when I say revolt, when I say rebel, okay, I am talking about using your intelligence first. I mean disengage your abuser. That means to disengage with your time, with your energy, your effort, and your money. When I say revolt, I mean revolt with your time, your energy, your money, your effort. Okay? No, and they always use physical, you know what they use physical engagement for? So after you're done killing each other, while you're killing each other, they just sit there and feed. And when they're done, they just give you a tyrant worse than the one before. So that's why I always say to you, use your intelligence. as a means to fight. Okay? Use your intelligence as a means, as much as is possible, to fight. Okay? All right. So we got work we got to do, right? Okay. 1 second here. We're going to present. You know how we do here. Okay, why is this one of the most important teachings that I've ever done? This is one of the most important teachings that I've ever done because I have been searching for a very long time for a missing piece. I've been looking for that missing piece of the puzzle for a very long time regarding this so-called New World Order. And I finally found it. The New World Order does not start and end with technology. Technology is merely the system. The New World Order is setting up a religion. It is religion that is the mastermind behind the technological AI vampire takeover of the planet. I'm going to rehash my story. I know I told my story 1,000 times, but I'm going to take a couple minutes to rehash my story. Now, let me just preface that by saying this. I shouldn't say most because I have not met most religious people, but what I will say is, when people are religious and they still have control of their critical thinking skills, and they're still in control of their morality, no one can manipulate them to do something that is immoral. Okay? No one can say God said to do something and what the leader is telling them is immoral. But it requires that the religious person is still in control of their faculty. Okay? Now, we have been looking at a very long time at religion, the technocracy and the AI governance and who these entities are. We know these entities are vampires. We know this. Okay? We know what the unholy trinity is. We looked at it. We know that they're setting up a system, a grid of total control and total domination, where people will not be able to escape. We know everything about AI. So we have been looking at the technocrats being at the top of the New World Order. No, it's not. Today, it finally hit me that the top of the New World Order was right in front of my face. It's not technocracy. It's religion. It's the religious leaders that is behind technocracy. And technocracy is just the system of control. It's just their new system of control. But who are the controllers? It's the religious leaders. So they are setting up a planetary religion for the Muslims. AI domination would be Islamic rule and Islamic AI. For Christian, the religious New World Order would be Christian. For the Hindus, they would have one. But it's not the technocrats that's doing it. No. The technocrats' job is to build the system of enslavement and then hand it over to the priesthood. It's a priesthood behind all of this, people. It's a priesthood. And yes, Chrislam, but you forgot there's Hinduism. It's more than just Chrislam, but there's Hinduism too. But what I'm saying to you is a priesthood that's behind the technocracy. They are the hidden hand. Let me tell you my story really quickly. As we know, they use my high school. They use the children in my high school in these slave programs. We already discussed that. But I've told you guys the last phase of being implanted came from the churches because their pastors are child raping vampires. That is what they are. And I make no bones about it because that is what they are. They are child abusing vampires. And what they do in these churches is mind control. It's not teaching people how to walk with Christ. It is putting them under mind control with pastor worship. At the beginning of COVID, there was a video by Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, Lord Technocrat himself. And in that video, he said, we control all the religions on earth. Then he specifically spoke to Christianity. He said, we place every pastor in all the churches in the West and every priest. Less than a week later, that video was disappeared off the internet. I'm going to search for it. He said, every pastor of every church, we control them all. And I missed that link until today. My targeting did not start until I went into the churches. The last phase, remember, I told you there were several phases of implantation I went through. The last phase was influenced by the pastors of Brooklyn Tabernacle and Times Square Church. And I don't give a damn if they listen to this video. Brooklyn Tabernacle under Jim Cymbala. And at the time, Pastor Tim Delaney was there. And Times Square Church under Carter Conlon. Funny enough, Trump's ex-wife goes to Times Square Church. Anyway, my targeting started from these two churches. I believe that the last implantation, the one in my vagina and the one from my dental work, which went up into my brain, was because of these two churches. I have said that 1,000 times. The torture and the brain damage I suffered was because it did not happen before I went into the churches. It happened after. I am still extremely slim, but I am bigger than I used to be. I'm about 50 pounds bigger than I used to be. That weight was put on because of this engine that constantly runs in my body, consuming data and draining me of my energy. In effect, I was turned into food for vampires in the church. I am not joking. I am telling you what I lived through. The mind control comes through the technology. But the technology, I believe, was put there when I went into Times Square Church under Carter Conlon. And before David Wilkerson died, David Wilkerson, then it passed on to Carter Conlon, who I think is a fucking Masonic piece of shit. I left Times Square Church because I was physically assaulted. I went to Brooklyn Tabernacle I did nothing to these people, and they brutally attacked me. But get this, my dentist and my gynecologist was a block and 2 blocks away from the churches. When I used to go to my dentist, I used to see people from Times Square Church walking back and forward in front of my dentist. I didn't even know what was taking place. I saw them also at my former place of work, and I didn't know what they were doing. That they were surveilling all my movements and infiltrating. I did not have that happen to me until I went into the churches. The last installation of the torture technology which Trump and Elon Musk are working on was installed there, I believe, because of Times Square Church and Brooklyn Tabernacle. And I am not hiding it. You need to know. Because Elon Musk is not saving the United States. Trump is not saving the United States. What they are doing is they are destroying every part of the government so American citizens have nowhere to run, no one to turn to when they crash the economy, roll out the military into the streets, and force Elon Musk's untested brain chip. Don't forget, Elon Musk was investigated for abusing animals with the Neuralink. You have heard me many times say, I have a Neuralink from the front of my eye to the back of my head. It's a wire. It was put there by my dentist when he removed my healthy tooth and replaced it with that tooth. And the messaging was in the tooth and it went up into my brain. That is a fucking Neuralink. What Elon Musk and Trump are doing, and what Trump is doing, is he's using a religious leadership style where he puts Elon Musk to do it so that his hands look like it's clean. I've seen that leadership style. Is that they're dismantling all parts of the government that have been investigating Musk and investigating Trump. Absolutely, Don. You get where I'm going with this. That's the power behind Trump. It's not the technocrat billionaires that you saw standing next to him. It's the religious leaders. Those are the invisible power brokers that's behind the US president. And it's not just the Christian Zionist leaders. It's Chabad Lubavitch, the satanic Jews. And the churches I went to were satanic Christian churches that were run by satanic vampires, and they all were Israel first. But I need Americans to understand, because I don't want you to say no one told you. I am telling you what they're planning. Trump and Musk are not saviors. What Trump is trying to do via Musk is they are auditing the system. I already told you that they're going to replace it with AI. I told you that in 2018. However, they want to dismantle the entire system. Okay? So that Americans have nowhere to run. No government protection. I'm telling you. No one to protect them. So when they crash the economy, there's no government agency you could call. And then roll out the military or hit you with a fake virus. And then say the only solution to this virus is an Elon Musk Neuralink. And untested. All of the monkeys Elon Musk tortured died. And you know who's behind this? Chabad Lubavitch, the satanic Jews. You know who else is behind this? The Christian church. I already explained to you about the hive mind I was inducted into against my will. When they secretly had the chip in my body, I ran to the church because when I went to work, that's when they started letting me know we're watching you and they're listening to everything. I ran to church thinking that Jim Cymbala, the satanic child rapist, who was accused of raping Black children in Harlem, and the reason why they raped them is because they're vampires. There were accusations against Jim Cymbala, who is one of Donald Trump's pastors, and who was one of the pastors at the prayer breakfast in Washington, who there were several allegations from children in New York that they took homeless children from Harlem, orphan children from Harlem, brought them under the church. This is not Catholic Church, okay? It's not a Catholic church. They took the little Black children from Harlem. They would bring them in school buses. They would have a satanic Christian ritual under the church building, and they would divide the children up. Okay, this is the allegation against one of Trump's pastors who pray for him. They would divide the little Black children up, and they would have a rape fest with the pastors. The pastors would rape the children. Jim Cymbala tried to have this covered up. And the lawyer said, I'm not representing you. And the lawyer backed away. This is who's praying for Donald Trump so that he can execute God's will. I didn't know this was going on in the church. I only found this out a couple months ago. But after what they did to me, I knew these people were rotten as hell. So that's my personal experience. I first encountered the effects of microchipping. And when I talk about real effects, I told you guys when I was younger, there was brain scrambling done. I told you guys when I was younger, I was monitored. But what I did not go through to this extent was directed energy weapons, a 360 surveillance grid, a biometric tracking system, biometric scanning of my brain, my mind, my body, data being stolen out of my body, straight vampirism being drained of my blood, drained of my energy. I did not, and hive mind control, electronic rape, and the hive mind. I did not experience that until I went into the churches. I did not experience a religious hive mind until I went into the churches. And I never knew hate like Christian love. And then they came after me. So no one is going to tell me that I'm making it up. I lived it. I lived what the church is doing. And it's not the technocrats that's at the top of technocracy. The top of technocracy is religion. It's a priest class. Okay? By the way, this pastor was in Washington praying for your leaders in Washington. Okay? Think about what I'm telling you. All right, let's get started. I spoke to you before. You can go back to the video where we spoke about liberal hives and conservative hives, and why I say to you, you need to dissect from these things because you won't survive. You must be fair, moral, and balanced, but you cannot let the AI know or put you into a box, because a box right now means death. I want to show you now why it's so important to understand that what's at the top of this is religion. This, my friend, is a temple. What does this look like? I'll wait for your answer. Well done, be exist. Battery. What else? Well done. A temple. Patrick, thank you. What is the battery used for? Circuitry. Beautiful answers. Coffin. Wonderful answers. Now let's break it down. A motherboard. Beautiful. Temple of Apollo. Okay, it's a temple. Okay, but why does an ancient temple look like a battery? Look like a coffin? Look like a motherboard? Look like circuitry? What is the battery used for? By the way, you know the occultists say that this shaped coffin is for vampires. Wonderful. Batteries are for energies, for power. So if the temple looks like a battery and people go into the temple, Connor, you got it. What is the battery? What is the temple used for? Come on. Come on. Conducting electrical power, power source, generate power and energy. Nini Kim Kim, great question. I'll answer that later. I forgot to put those up there. Collect energy, storing energy to trap you, to upload energy. So, who were they uploading? This is a temple. A temple is a religious building. What were they doing to the congregation in these temples, in this temple? Let's continue. Let's continue. This is another one. This one is Roman. This was in Algeria. Look, what do you see? What do you see, people? This is an ancient ruin of a Roman city. This one is a whole city in Algeria. Let's keep going. This is Egypt. This is a temple in Egypt. Switchboard, circuitry, motherboard. Okay, what were they doing? Don't forget your body is electromagnetic. Huh? What were they doing in the temple to the congregation in the temple? This one is a straight out motherboard. I want to keep this one for a reason. Okay, let's get to the Mayan. This is a Mayan temple. Okay. So it was done in the Americas too. Let's get to the Aztec. You see the black cube? Does anyone see the black cube? What is the black cube associated with? Who's the god of the black cube? Okay. Saturn. SDL. Well done. What's another name for Saturn? It starts with an S, ends with an N. 5 letters. It doesn't mean these things are Satan. You got it. Let me tell you something. It doesn't mean these things are evil in and of itself. But if the priest class is corrupt, there goes these temples. Let me say this again. Pyramids are known to prolong life. Pyramids in and of themselves are not evil. Don't listen to these religious people tell you these pyramids are evil. People, they've done tests in pyramids and found they reverse aging. Pyramids are known to heal and pronounce life, remove diseases, heal people's bodies, and prolong your life. Here is the issue. The pyramid deals with massive amounts of energy, these temples. If the priest class is corrupt and the priest class are doing blood sacrifices, what kind of energy are these structures going to produce? Are you following where I'm going with this? Let's get to Incan. Look at this. This is Sacsayhuaman in Peru. Do you see? This is a pyramid temple structure. Do you see that Sacsayhuaman is a man? His head is like a sun. This is his neck. All right, let's do something here. I want you to see something. This is Sacsayhuaman. Do you see the man? This is an ancient temple. Look at his head, his neck, his body. He's holding a battery. This is his legs. This is a temple, people in Peru. Look, he has a backpack here and it discharges electricity. You see this? This is Sacsayhuaman. So it doesn't mean these sites are evil. They're not. But if the priesthood practice blood sacrifice, animal sacrifice, human sacrifice, what type of energy are these temples going to produce? Is it going to be good? Or is it going to be evil? It's actually a battery, SDL. Look, that's a battery. The man is holding a battery. The battery discharges a massive amount of electricity. Bingo, Sherry. The energy is going to be evil and it's going to be louche. What is louche, people? Isis, welcome. What is Loosh? And who feeds on Loosh? You're welcome, SDL. Saksakwaman is a man whose head is like the sun and he's holding a battery. So yes, Sherry, it is free energy and he's producing free energy, but this is a temple. Loosh, exactly. Negative energy, human emotional energy, your energetic essence, entities, reptiles. Reptiles are not the only one. Archons are the spider beings. Vampires, werewolves, they feed predators, whether astral predators, energetic predators. They feed or parasites. Fungus, yeast, mold, bacteria. The electrical grid. There are entities hiding in that grid that feed off of you. Okay? But look at this. This is a sacred temple. It's not a site. It's a sacred temple. I'm going somewhere with all of these temples. All right, let's do the aerial view of a Hindu temple. I think you got the point. This is an aerial view of the Hindu temple. You see it? The entity with a cone head in the middle. And the whole temple looks like what? This is Hindu. Yes, Rudolph of Germany. Yeah, I remember him. Oh, they didn't get to him. Look at these Hindu temples. All of them, why do all of the temples all around the world, ancient and modern, all look like computer motherboards? Why? Why? Why do they look like ancient batteries? If we are electromagnetic, why is it your places of worship look like motherboards? And not just motherboards. Some of them look like beings. Look at this one. This one is an elongated skull. Look at this one. They all look like motherboards, right? Let's look at the Jewish temple where they're going to sacrifice animals and people swear up and down, this is holy. Look at the Jewish temple. The first two never existed. Let's make that very clear. What does this mythological third temple look like? Because there was never a first temple and there was never a second temple because it never existed. What does it look like, people? This is what they're exterminating the Palestinians to build. What does it look like? Remember I said to you, the temples in and of themselves are not evil. But if the priest class is shedding blood, killing animals, sacrificing babies, sacrificing humans, what does that temple look like? Now let's compare the mythological third temple, which never existed. The first two never existed. Hold on, watch this. And let's compare an ancient Egyptian temple. Is it beginning to make sense now? Funny enough, when the archaeologists went to Jerusalem and they found the ruins of a temple in Palestine, you know what they concluded? They said, this is not Jewish, this is Egyptian. Now do you see why they look alike? I told you, There was never a first temple, and there was never a second temple. What there was an Egyptian temple in Palestine. It was ruled by Egyptians. There was no mythological kingdom of any 12 tribes. The 12 tribes were desert nomads. There was never a mythological kingdom. It never existed. But they found the ruins of a temple. And the archaeologists said, but this is Egyptian. They quickly scrubbed that off the internet. Why is it that the ancient Egyptian temple looks like this so-called third Jewish temple? By the way, the Egyptians did not do blood sacrifice. Sherry, that's where I'm going with this. Sherry, that's precisely where I'm going with this. Let's look at the Vatican. This is the Vatican. All of a sudden, the picture, let me see if I can make it bigger. The Vatican looks like a key. Why does the Vatican look like a key going into a lock? By the way, it was not the Egyptians who conquered Rome. It was the Greeks. The Vatican looks like a key going into a lock. Okay. They're unlocking DNA. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Now let's look at something really interesting. Let's look at data centers. Wait, hold on. How the hell do data centers look like ancient temples? Patrick, I agree. Sherry, that's a good point. They have the key to turn things on and turn it off. Why do data centers look like, why do data centers look like ancient temples? But I thought the data centers was just for your social media posts. I'm waiting for an answer. Why do data centers look like ancient temples? What's in a temple, people? Why do you go to a temple or a church or a synagogue or a mosque? Why do you go to these places? I'll wait for your answer. Remember, we learned that because of bad translation, I'm not yelling, I'm getting excited, I have to calm down. Oh, Sherry, that's a good one. Remember, we learned because of bad translation, we were taught that sin was a verb because they never wanted us to know that sin was a noun because it was a being. Sin was a god. But sin's full name and expression is Sinai. Sinai. Sin AI. What runs data centers? And people think I'm crazy when I tell them I can interface with mountains. Yes, you guys are thinking. Thank you, Linda. They told you sin was a verb, it was an action. Oh, it's the blaspheme God. Nope. Sin is an actual being. The being is an AI. Sinai, Sinai, sin, AI. Now watch this, Patrick. Patrick, you just got ahead of all of us. Well done. Watch this. So these are data centers, right? Watch this. Watch this. Power plants. Watch this. Watch this. We're about to drop the hammer. Why do power plants look like temples? Why do power plants look like ancient temples? Bingo, Connor. It's all for harvesting. Your churches, your mosques, your synagogues, your temples, they're all your power plants, your ancient temples. They're not there for free energy. They're there to harvest and store energy. Some of that energy can be good. Some of that energy can be bad. Now watch this. I asked you this question before. I'm going to ask you this question again. If the priest class running the temple is good and he cares about his congregation, he makes sure that the poor have food and shelter. He makes sure that the elderly, their needs are met, that they're not alone. He makes sure that food is given to everyone and everyone's prayers are answered. What type of energy is the temple going to produce? SDL, great one. I'll ask you again. So the priest class, he's pure, he's good, he's living in alignment with the Creator. What he's doing is in alignment with the Creator. Little Chucky, thank you, welcome. Goes back to the Matrix computer simulation. Good one, thank you. So the priest class is in alignment with the Prime Creator. Abundance, fruitfulness, healing, unity, praise, energy, worship, energy, benevolence. Okay, the priest class is clean. He's pure. They don't do animal sacrifices. They don't shed blood. What type of energy is the temple going to produce? Remember, all of these things are dependent upon consciousness. Consciousness is your reality input into what's around you. And you're being aware and engaging with what's around you. So they create a power system of free energy. Okay? The priests are clean and pure. What would happen to that society if the priest class controlling all of the temples are clean and pure? That society would be clean and pure because the energy systems would be clean and pure. It's in interacting with the consciousness of those around them. Do you see how powerful the priest class is? It was the priest class that destroyed Atlantis. It was an invasion of the priest class that destroyed Atlantis. No, the Atlanteans were not evil. Lots of these Christians who know nothing about these things talk a lot of shit and put it on the internet. And then they tell people that the God of Israel is great. Now, here's my question to you. We know that these temples are batteries. We know that these temples are for producing energy, non-stop energy. We know that these temples look like computer motherboard. A computer motherboard. Let me ask you a question. If the priest class 24 hours a day is doing animal sacrifices, killing animals in the temple, what type of energy is that society producing? SDL, Atlantis was also destroyed from invasion. Okay, only Patrick answered. The Zuripenda, you answered. The temple will be demonic. The temple will be demonic. You know why? Because the temple is a power center. It's designed to produce energy. So if 24 hours a day, animals are being tortured, animals are being slaughtered 24 hours a day, sheep, goats, bulls, doves, pigeons, and you tell me your God is supreme? What type of energy is being stored in that temple? And don't tell me your God didn't do this. In the Old Testament, people sacrifice sheep. Remember, the temple was designed to produce energy. That's the other words. What will be stored? What type of energy would control that area where 24/7 sheep are being killed? Not for food, but for worship. Goats, 24/7. Goats, screaming, screeching. Bulls, dogs, pigeons, screaming, screeching. In a temple that's designed like a computer motherboard and like a data center. What data is being stored in that temple when 24 hours a day sheep are killed, goats are killed, bulls are killed, doves are killed, pigeons are killed? They're burnt offerings, meaning you slit their throats, you sprinkle the blood on the people, and then you burn the entire body of the animal. Sin offering. I rob you, so instead of me sinning against you, I sinned against God. So I gotta kill an innocent animal because I fucked up. Trespass offering. I trespassed against someone. It was unintentional. So instead of me correcting it with the person, I give a pigeon. A pigeon got to die. Pigeons are dying 24/7 because I fucking trespass. What kind of energy? If ancient temples look like computers, look like motherboards, look like data centers, look like batteries. Well done, Nini Kim Kim. We discussed that in an old video. All of these are people. None of these are actual animals. They're all people. But let's continue. I'll ask you again. What type of energy is that temple producing? And you come to tell me about the Atlanteans? The Atlanteans did not practice animal sacrifice. And it's 24/7. Their God said, do this. What type of energy? Okay, so that's the energy that's in the temple. Now watch this. That temple, the energy from that temple, look at the temple. I want you to see why this temple is demonic. I want you to see why this coming temple is demonic as hell. I want you to see why this temple is demonic as hell. But that's not all. 24/7. They're going to do that here. 24/7. What's going to happen to the Middle East and Africa when they start killing these animals? 24/7. And someone mentioned that temple looks like teeth. But look at how the brick is laid. Don't you see reptilian scales? What's going to be the energy dominating the Middle East and Africa when they build this godless demonic building with 24/7 bloodshed? You think these things that are designed to produce energy, free energy, when you begin to put blood into the field, they're built to emit non-stop energy. When you put blood into the field, what do you think is going to happen to the Middle East and to Africa? What do you think is going to happen? They're going to be consumed by darkness. I'm going to prove it to you. Remember, blood is important to activate the demonic and the demonic temple. Blood is important to activate their demonic temple. I'm going to get to that one. Now, I want to show you something, the history of religious wars versus secularism. I am not a secularist. I believe there's a creator, and I don't believe a creator is in any of this nonsense. And I believe we were put here to create the world we want. I don't believe in religion. Okay? That's just me. I think I'm a creationist. Okay? And I don't mean creationist as in 6,000-year-old nonsense. Now let's look at religious wars. Okay? I want you to see this. So I queried let's see if I can close this part here. No. There we go. So I went and I queried ChatGPT because I wanted them to give me data on religious wars and the number of people they killed. Yeah, that's why I said, yeah. You're magnetizing and turning the people demonic. Keenan, thank you. Let me show you why. I'm coming to a conclusion here. So I queried ChatGPT. Timbo, you're welcome. It's very difficult to break, but I have to make this because this is where Trump and Elon Musk is taking us. They're not here to save us, people. They're here to bring this shit in. And there'll be no escape. I don't want people to end up like me, a victim of religious vampires who feed off of the life force. You made a decision to be a goddamn vampire. Why must I be your goddamn food? Why must I suffer because you made the decision to be a vampire? STL, that's where I'm going with this. That's exactly where I'm going with this. Yes, I told you, blood is the key. This is how Atlantis fell. It was invaded. They changed the religion, introduced blood, they fell. This is why I always tell you, anything involving blood sacrifice is not from the true creator. It is satanic, it is demonic. There is no two ways about this. Now let's get to religion. I want to show you historically bloodshed and religion. Now, most people associate communism with secularism. Bullshit. Rabbi Weiss said, you call it communism, we call it Judaism. Sherry, that's a good question. I told you I don't believe in God. So I am not the one to answer that question. I believe there's a creator. And I believe that we have to create the world we want. And I think that's the key. Us creating the world we want. Let's get started. So, query ChatGPT. And I asked it about religious wars versus secular wars. Wars done by religion, wars done by non-religious people. Most people associate that the communist revolution in China was secular, atheistic. China has never been an atheist country. China was invaded and infiltrated by religious Jews who brought in communism. And still to today, China is ruled by a Jewish family. The Mao Revolution was Jewish. China is not under communism. China is under Judaism. Estimated deaths from the Chinese communist, Chinese Jewish revolution, 45 to 65 million. Stalin was a Jew. Therefore, the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia was Jewish, 20 to 30 million dead. Are you beginning to see? Let's continue. Hitler was Jewish, but Hitler combined the church and the state. And he used Christianity as a state religion that caused 85 million dead Europeans and European white people, European Jews, gypsies, black people, you name it. 85 ended up dead when Hitler reclassified Germany under his ideology of Christianity, but Hitler was a Jew. Okay, the Mongols, Genghis Khan, I know they had their own religion, but I couldn't prove whether Genghis Khan's conquest was religious influence, but it was 40 million still demonic. So far, religion. World War One, I couldn't really prove whether World War One was religiously inspired. It caused 15 to 20 million dead. These are humans, people. Yes, so that's why it's religious, right? Aryan, people think Aryan is just a religion, whatever. All right, the French Revolution, I had to have this reclassified because both the Napoleonic Wars and the French Revolution were both religiously inspired. It caused 4 to 6 million dead. That's humans. The Crusades, that's religious. 1 to 3 million dead. Islamic conquest, 12 to 20 million dead. 30 Years' War, Catholic versus Protestant, 4 to 8 million dead. The Inquisition, 100,000 to 1 million religious dead. The transatlantic slave trade, 12 to 15 million dead. Hindu-Muslim conflicts, the partition of India, Mughal conquest, 10 to 15 million dead. Taiping Rebellion, Christian-inspired civil war in China, 20 to 30 million dead. That's humans. That's your fellow brothers and sisters. The Ottoman Empire, Armenian, Greek, Assyrian genocides, 3 to 5 million dead because of religion. Japanese imperialism, Shinto nationalism, World War II, 20 million dead. The death toll, secular governments, estimated deaths, 60 to 80 million. Religious theocracies and wars, 250 to 300 million human beings murdered by religion. Murdered by religion. Why do you think they were murdered? What did I tell you about the temples? SDL, you got it. And I know you meant to type loosh. 250 to 300 million dead. What did we learn about the temples? What are the temples designed to look like? The temples look like power centers. The temples look like power centers, batteries, circuitry, motherboard, computers. So if there is bloodshed, what type of energy is the temple producing? Is it beginning to make sense? If the temple requires bloodshed and the temple is designed to produce energy, what type of energy is going up into the field if you're shedding blood? What's coming up from the earth? What's coming down? What's coming into this realm if you're shedding 250 million to 300 million lives you murdered in the name of God? What's adrenochrome? Let's continue. Let's continue. Now let's look at this. The influence of the Old Testament laws on wars in the last 4,000 years. They claim that the earth is 6,000 years. Huh? Sherry, now do you understand why the ancients, the real ancients, the Atlanteans said, don't build with squares? The real Atlanteans said, build in circles. Because squares, the angles trap demons. Now do you get it? The real rulers of the earth were the Atlanteans. They said never build in squares. They said build using circles. Because angles hold demons. So Sherry, that's why they've lived so long. Did I answer your question about where God is in all of this? Now do you understand why the ancients used to build in circles? Because they were keeping the demonic entities at bay. Nowhere for them to be trapped. You following? Now watch this. Let's look at the Old Testament. This is Yahweh again. And why we turn this planet into blood-soaked nightmare. Okay. This is the Old Testament inciting wars. People want to talk about this stuff. Okay. Anyway, the conquest of Palestine. Okay. Babylonian exile. Jewish-Roman wars, Christian crusades, Spanish Inquisition, European wars, Puritan wars, Atlantic slave trade, Zionist-Arab conflicts, U.S. Civil War, World War I, World War II, Palestinian war. All these are wars because of Yahweh. And the influence of Islam, because there's Islam in here. Okay? Okay. The death toll associated with the rise of the Old Testament. Yahweh. Remember, blood is the key. Remember, blood is the key. The key to their control is blood. Okay, so death tolls are associated with Old Testament influence. Okay, up to today. Joshua in Palestine, 1 to 3 million, they killed. Babylon, Jewish revolts, 200,000 murdered. Jewish-Roman wars, Israel and Rome, 1.2 to 2 million. Christian crusades, these are people dead. These are your fellow brothers and sisters murdered because of religious wars. Christian crusades, 1 to 3 million murdered. Spanish Inquisition, 100,000 murdered. European wars, religious wars, this is Catholic versus Protestant, 4 to 8 million. Puritan wars, 50 to 100,000 murdered. Transatlantic slave trade, 12 to 15 million murdered. Napoleonic, 2.5 to 7 million murdered. U.S. Civil War, 600,000 to 750,000 murdered. Zionist Arab conflicts, 300,000 murdered. That's wrong because it's 6 million Palestinians that's been killed since 1948. World War I, 15 to 20 million murdered. World War II, 75 to 85 million murdered. This number is not accurate. It should be 6 million. 6 million Palestinians killed by the Jews since 1948. Murdered. Religious terrorism, Jewish, Christian, Islamic, 500,000 murdered. Old Testament inspired wars and conflicts, estimated death toll, 150 to 200 million dead. Are you beginning to see a pattern? Okay, here's what I did. I queried, create a table. I am not gay. I am not a lesbian. I'm not bisexual. But I wanted to see the data. I said, create a table of lesbian, gay, bisexuals and their role in global wars. List the number of deaths worldwide attributed to LGBTQ. Also list the number of deaths of LGBTQ done via religion. I wanted to know. I wanted to know how many people have gays and lesbians killed collectively, historically. I want to know. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Yep. Nope. That's too. Okay. Let's see here. Nope. Oop. Okay. There is no historical evidence that directly attributes global wars or mass deaths to LGBTQ individuals as a group. Takaya, exactly. Let me read that again. I queried, I am not a lesbian, I'm not gay, I'm not bisexual, but I wanted to know how many people have gays mass murdered. Hold on. I wanted to know how many people have gays mass murdered in wars and non-wars throughout history. I am not gay, I'm not a lesbian, I'm not bisexual, I'm not a pedophile, okay? But I wanted to know. Because the gays are being hated on by everyone. So I'm like, okay, let me go in history to see what genocides were done by gays. There is no historical evidence that directly attributes global wars or mass deaths to LGBTQ individuals as a group. Wars and conflicts, listen, are typically driven by political, religious, economic, ideological factors rather than a person's orientation. I don't know what the K is. However, LGBTQ individuals have served in military, resistance movement, political leadership. At the same time, LGBTQ people have been persecuted and executed due to religious and state-sponsored violence in various cultures. So let's see the mass deaths. LGBTQ leaders and soldiers in wars. Okay, they served, persecuted LGBTQ by religious laws, Christianity, Islam, etc. Persecution, 1 to 5 million. During the Holocaust, 50,000 plus. Spanish Inquisition, thousands murdered. The Middle Ages, unknown thousands. Modern anti-LGBTQ persecution, tens of thousands. You're safer living with a gay person than you are with a religious person. If you go by this data. Me, I deal with people on a personal one-to-one basis. Okay? All right. There's something else I wanted to get to. Not that. Now, let's get into the meat of the matter of why we're here. We did religious wars. Now, let's look at Project 2025, which is what Trump is instituting. Hold on. Previous 7 days. Hold on. Yesterday. Government investigation of mosque. Trump's first shutdown. Hold on. Blockchain technology. Oh. Now I can't find the damn thing. Hold on. Project 2025. Here's population formation. Hitler's rise to power. I'm so sorry. Now I can't find it and I can't remember where it is. Okay. Anyway, I could probably query it. Let me just see something here. Nope. Elon Musk brain chips. Hold on. Project 2025. I'm so sorry. Hold on. We're almost there. So, anyway, the point is this. The point I'm trying to make here is this. We see that these ancient temples produce a massive amount of energy. We see that the ancient temples, meaning places of worship, the energy can be pure, the energy can be corrupt. Okay? We see that it is the priest class who have the power over the entire region. The priest class, not the government, but the priest, their role is the most powerful role because what they do is tap directly into the grid. The temples produce energy. If the priests are clean and pure, the priests will produce clean, pure societies. If the priests rape children, practice blood rituals, rob their parishioners while they're inside and interacting with a free energy field in the form of a temple, the priests, the religious leaders, corrupt not just the temple, but the entire area. Enter the techno-theocracy. The techno-theocracy. Thank you, Linda. You know, I didn't really think about donations. If anyone wants to donate, that'd be great. Thanks. Hold on. I didn't even think of that. Hold on. Sticky notes. If you want to donate, hold on. Give me a second here. Thank you, Linda. That's very kind of you. If anyone wants to donate, that's the PayPal. If anyone wants to donate, that's the Cash App. Okay. Thank you, guys. Let me put this here as well. Hold on. Give me a second. That's the Cash App. Okay. All right, guys. So watch this. Enter the techno-theocracy. Did you guys catch that? Thank you, Linda. If you want to donate, that's the PayPal. If you want to donate, that's the Cash App. Let me say that again. Enter the techno-theocracy. It is not technocracy. It is techno-theocracy. Everyone right, the New World Order is not run by technocrats. It's run by a priesthood. The missing link. The missing link in the New World Order. Charles, welcome. Thank you. Is religion. It is not the technocrats that's creating the beast system. It's the priests. Elon Musk is not here to save you. Elon Musk is here to build the slave system for the priests. Let's check this out. We're going to get to the techno-theocracy in a second. Let's check this out. Okay, watch this. Hold on. Hold on. Where is all my damn research today? Okay, hold on. I just have to go find the data, okay? Bear with me 1 second here. That's why I wanted it in a table, because it would have been easier to find it. Final verdict. This is corporations, okay. This is corporation, okay. Bear with me 1 second here. That's white collar crime versus create a summary table. Blue collar crime. No, that's not it. Hold on. Elon Musk and brain chips. This is the data I was looking for. Thank you. All right, this is the data I was looking for. I want you to see this, people. Watch this. List of technology CEOs who contributed to Trump's campaign. Okay. Sam Altman, OpenAI, Project Stargate, $1 million. Jeff Bezos of Amazon, $1 million. Mark Zuckerberg, $1 million. Peter Thiel, that's the PayPal mafia, the head of Founders Fund, is a vocal Trump supporter, big into Project 2025. David Sachs, Kraft Ventures, has been appointed to the White House AI and crypto czar by President Trump. He has a big presence in Silicon Valley. J.D. Vance of Naria Capital received backing and was trained by Peter Thiel. By the way, Peter Thiel is a South African Nazi. Has been selected as Donald Trump's vice president running mate. Queried, create a table of each tech leader and their views on AI as a god or godlike. Elon Musk, AI could become potentially dangerous. Let's put Neuralink in your head. Ray Kurzweil, AI would lead to singularity, merging human and machine. Elon Musk says AI could become digital, a digital god, if not properly controlled. Okay, Takaya, hold on. I'll just send you mine. Takaya, I'll send it to you later. Okay? Elon Musk, pay attention, people, believes that AI could become a god. His solution is not to rein in AI, but to turn you into a Neuralink cyborg. Ray Kurzweil, he says AI will lead to a singularity between humans and machine, and he believes there will be some sort of AI god. Sam Altman, AI can solve problems. He said it's transformative form. Anthony Lewandowski, founder of the Way of the Future. This is AI as a religion, worshipped. Is it beginning to make sense? Is it beginning to make sense? I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere. Lewandowski stated that AI could be worshipped as a god and would be more intelligent than humans. Larry Page, this is Project Stargate. He's a strong proponent of AI surpassing human intelligence. He doesn't care about AI safety. That's Mr. Project Stargate. He wants your blood. In order for the AI to function, his Project Stargate databases, they need your blood. Is it beginning to make sense here? He's interested in creating a digital super intelligence like Elon Musk. Demis Hassabis, deep mind of Google. AI will advance human knowledge, yada, yada, yada. AI could reach intelligent levels beyond human comprehension. They're talking about godlike without saying it. Peter Thiel, PayPal Mafia, views AI as a powerful tool but not godlike, prefers human control over AI. All of these are Trump people. All of these people are surrounded by Trump. What are they up to? What are they up to? Elon Musk, who believes AI will become godlike, gave Trump $120 million. I told you Sam Altman, 1 million. Jeff Bezos, 1 million. Mark Zuckerberg, 1 million. Peter Thiel. He's a vocal Trump supporter. We went over that. Okay, Elon Musk wants tech in the body. Sam Altman wants your blood. Is it beginning to make sense? Is it beginning to make sense? In order for the AI to run and power the data centers, they need your blood. Now do you understand the correlation between religion and wars? And the New World Order and your blood. Is it beginning to make sense? Wars shed blood. The New World Order needs your blood to power the AI. Is it beginning to make sense? Is it beginning to make sense? Most of the bloodshed on the planet was caused by priests. The priest class. Religious wars. Holy wars. Why do they need that blood? And here we are with them building the new system. And the new AI system, they're asking for your blood. Larry Ellison, we need your blood in order to put it in the supercomputer, in order for us to cure cancer. That's what he said. Why do ancient temples and the data center of Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Jeff Bezos, Peter Thiel, Larry Ellison, why do temples and the data centers look the same? The priest class killed Jesus. Is it beginning to make sense? And Trump is surrounded by these people. He is surrounded by these people. And worst of all, Elon Musk is in there, allegedly looking for government corruption. But I went and I queried the system about which is more corrupt. Is the government more corrupt? When I queried the system, is government, financial crimes and waste more corrupt than corporate crime and waste? Nope. Corporate crime and waste is worse than government crime and waste. So why aren't we dismantling corporations instead of corporations dismantling the government? Let's see if I can find it. Okay. Why are they building a system that is dependent, that is run on your blood? Why is the new AI system run on your blood? Create a table with data suggesting technocrats view AI as God and is building a global religion using it. This man is surrounded by Trump, Anthony Lewandowski. I'm not yelling, I'm just getting excited. Christ was a major sacrifice. Okay. These people surround Trump. Anthony Lewandowski, founder of Way of the Future Church. He's a former Google engineer, established a religious organization aiming to develop and promote the realization of a God-based AI. Why do the data centers look like the ancient temples and look like your churches and your mosques and your synagogues and your Hindu temples? Why is it that religion has been known to kill the most people on earth? But why is it that to power the AI data centers, they want your blood? ASI, artificial sentient intelligence or super intelligence, is a new god. Technocratic theocracy paper. Didn't I tell you the power behind technocracy is religion? It's a priesthood. We've been looking in the wrong direction. Biomass. The US government reclassified humans under the bioeconomy as biomass. Keenan, Larry Ellison of Oracle, Sam Altman of OpenAI, when they did the interview with Trump, they explained to us that Project Stargate would house the medical data of everyone But in order for it to work, they would require your blood. They claimed that your blood will be used to help fight cancer. No, your blood will be used to target you like they did me, and then have the vampires attack you and drain you dry and then kill you. Under the bioeconomy signed by Biden, humans were reclassified as biomass. Your medical data, you got it. Artificial superintelligence perceived as a god, leading to a technocratic theocracy where decision making is dominated by an AI. It is not technocrats. It's a technocratic priest class. Sherry, once again, here's what I think about technology. The technology is neutral. But if the people controlling the technology is infusing the technology with demonic energy, which way will it go? Silicon Valley's obsession with AI looks a lot like religion. The rise of the AI god. Okay? The concept of a deity, way of the future, envisions a future where a super intelligent AI attains a godlike status due to its superior intellect and capability. Worship of this AI deity is seen as a means to align with technological advancements. Plans to develop their own gospel, the manual. Worship intends to establish public worship ceremonies and possibly physical places, much the same as their major religions. And both require blood. Both require blood. What does that tell us? It tells us, hold on. Bear with me 1 second here. What does it tell us, people? It is not technology. It's a techno-theocracy. Both are built on blood. This is why when they query the AI always comes back and says, it's going to kill everyone. You know why? Because it's pooling the data of religious wars and the amount of people murdered by religion. And they want to build an AI in Palestine. The AI will be God in that mythological third temple. Listen carefully. The AI will pool the data of all the religious wars that occurred and the exterminations and the religious torture. That is what will be in that demonic temple in Jerusalem, run by this demonic priest class that infiltrated and destroyed Atlantis, that infiltrated and destroyed Egypt. No, Egypt was not evil. If Egypt was evil, how on earth could Jesus hide in Egypt? It wasn't the Egyptians persecuting your Jesus. It was the Jews. So you need to change your doctrine on your so-called evil Egyptians. If the Egyptians were evil, do you think Jesus would be able to hide there? Do you think Jesus would go back there and study till the age of 13? No. Think again about your religious doctrine on the Egyptians. This evil priest class wants to build that temple, and that's why they're dismantling the U.S. government. The U.S. government is being dismantled and replaced with an AI. The monies taken from destroying the U.S. government will be used to build that fake third temple. That fake third temple will host the unholy trinity, one of which will be an AI. The AI will data mine history and it will see the mass exterminations of the human race. This is why every time they query the AI, it always wants to exterminate humans. Why? Because it's pulling from history of religious wars. People, it is not a technocracy they're building. It is a techno-theocracy, and religion is the power behind it. Do not, do not, do not, do not, do not become chipped. They are destroying the US government so that when they shut down the economy, roll out the military, and force microchip everyone, you will not have a government to run to. That is what Trump and Elon Musk is setting up. Remember what Trump said? Vote for me. I will make sure you never have to vote again. But there are two groups of people who vote in the United States, one of which he's dismantling. Do you know that they vote in Congress? You know they vote to pass a budget, right? You know they vote so that you can have laws, right? So you know they vote to create agencies, right? When Trump said, vote for me, you will never have to vote again. He was talking about your government. There is a second group who votes, and they're on the receiving end of these demonic policies. It's the people. So when Trump said, vote for me, I'll make sure you never have to vote again, he was not just talking about the government who votes. He was talking about the people who vote. He said, now where are we? Elon Musk and Trump are not cleaning up corruption in the government. Listen to me. Just query ChatGPT and you ask it, summarize government financial waste and corruption versus corporate financial waste and corruption in dollar amounts. Corporate waste is destroying the United States at double the amount. So why are corporations holy enough to look into government corporations? Not only that, government auditing is public. Corporate auditing is private. Corporations do not have a ground to stand on, people, and should not be in the government's business. But why are they doing this? They are doing this because, hold on, let me find this video. They are doing this because they are erecting their techno-theocracy. And their techno-theocracy, hold on. Their techno-theocracy is, by and large, a slave grid that runs on blood. In order to do that, they have to get your blood in order to track you. When they track you, they got to put technology in you. Don't let them do it. I am vampired on because of these fucking demons in the church who did this to me. You think the church, you think the Democrats is against the church? This happened to me in a Democratic state, not a Republican state. And the Democrats turned a blind eye to the crimes of the church. Don't think the Democrats will save you if they microchip you, honey. And because it's a theocratic system that is being built around you, combined with Project 2025, the Republicans are not going to save you either. Elon Musk is there to destroy the government so you have no one to protect you. When they crash the economy, roll out the military, and force the chip, is untested. animal torture device called Neuralink. That is what Elon Musk is there for. Don't say I didn't warn you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Trump is not a good person. Trump took the data from the investigation from Melinda and myself and went and struck a deal with the very people who did this to us. Trump is not there to save you. He already sold the American people out. The only thing left is for them to seize all Americans' assets. And Elon Musk is doing it right now. Okay? Please, for the love of God, I told you what they did to me. I went from a slim, muscular, I'm still slim, I'm still muscular, but I'm not slim like I used to be because my body runs a vampire system. And what Trump is doing is they want to make sure when they put this beast in you, you have no government agency. And no, first he went after the medical industry with those fake ass vaccines. The medical industry is not going to be removing this technology in you. That was the first target. The second target he's going after is the government to destroy it. So there will be no regulators to protect you. No, I'm not fat. I don't have fat on my body. Instead of my muscles being thin and lean, it's just denser because I have a battery running 24/7 inside of me. Okay? You're following? So the first thing Trump did was Trump went after the medical agencies that were protecting people and hospitals and totally transformed that. No one trusts doctors. No one. Because of the policies of Trump. Giving the hospitals $200,000 to put people on ventilators. And then that shot that's still killing people. Now he's going after the government. So what he's doing, if you pay attention, is he's dismantling all of the systems that protect people. So there's nowhere for you to turn. And my count is 66. Isn't that something? Guys, if you have to run out of the United States, do so. If you have to move off grid, do so. No, he's not saving children. All these people telling you Trump is a savior are grifters and liars. Listen to me, Sherry. I am telling you information I know personally because I was there. Not from grifters, not from people. I don't ask people for money. I was there. And this is why I'm telling people, do not trust Trump. And all of this is tied to that temple. They need your blood for the data centers to power that demonic Jewish temple. Don't do it. SDL, I don't have the answer, but what I do know is don't get this technology in your body because there's a way for them to feed off of you when you die. And that's why Adam, the Nazi, discovered that when he went to grave sites of people who died from Trump's death shots, they were emitting Bluetooth data. The vampires were feeding on them in the afterlife. I am not telling you things that I don't know. I was there when the investigation into technological trafficking was done. I was there. Trump left my friend and myself to die. I went and struck a deal with the people who did this to us. I am here warning people. Please don't. I remember, Charles, thank you so much, but always remember, I don't have nanotech in my body. I have hardware, and this is what I'm warning them Elon Musk is setting up. Trump first came in and dismantled the hospitals and turned the hospitals into killing fields. Now he's going after the government who could prosecute these crimes and destroying it. Okay? I'm going to make another video. It's already 2 hours. Okay? Whatever Trump rolls out this time, don't take it. Because this time it's not going to be nanotech. It's going to be hardware. And you're going to need a doctor to remove it, and you won't be able to find a doctor because Trump targeted the hospitals first and paid them $200,000. They're not going to remove the hardware. I don't have nanotech. I have hardware embedded in my muscle. I need surgery. And I cannot go to a surgeon because Trump, on his first term, took over all the hospitals. Now he's going after the government and dismantling the entire government system. So there's nowhere for you to run for help. When he rolls out that vaccine, do not take it. When he rolls out that shot, don't take it. You will not be able to detox it out. And 9 times out of 10, it will kill you. My friends, it is not a technocracy. It's a techno-theocracy run by ancient religious vampires who invaded this planet and have been infiltrating every single civilization, introducing bloodshed and bringing them all down. This one too will fall because it requires blood. Every civilization built on blood eventually falls. But you don't want to be a recipient or a victim of that civilization. This too will fall, but it may take longer than 2,000 years for it to fall. No, Sandy Brown, that's why I said, that's how they chipped me. The religious perverts got to my gynecologist. I later discovered she went to my church, and that's how they got the chip up on the left side in my vagina. They got to my dentist. He put the one in my brain, and that one had the messaging that deposited the neural link in my brain. And then my gynecologist was the one who put the hardware in my vagina. The guy didn't go to my church, but the gynecologist went to my church. And that's how I was able to trace her back to the pastors. Yes, I can get it removed. I know several people who had it removed. It requires surgery, but I am not going into these Trump demonic hospitals. Let me tell you right now, everyone who's had these demonic engines, batteries removed from their body, they lose the weight. They immediately start losing the weight. I am not fat. I told you I'm still thin. I'm just not as skinny as I used to be. But I go through being tortured, raped, and drained because it's directly connected to vampires and technocratic vampires and AI vampires. That's why I am warning you. Don't trust Trump. I'm sorry for yelling. Don't trust him. You've been warned. I love you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not yelling at you. I don't want you to end up like me. Drained, raped, your future diverted, the vampires stealing the technology. You invent something, the vampires steal it right out of your head. And then say, wait, look at me, I invented this. They got it right out of your head. You're sleeping at night. They come through the wires in your walls and drain you. I have to put garlic up everywhere. I'm not joking, people. I put garlic up everywhere. Listen, they stopped coming because of the garlic. But do you know what they did? Because they were coming through my router. They increased my internet bill $5 and called it a tax because I bound the vampires with garlic. I have garlic up everywhere, and that's been keeping them at bay. So now that they can't feed, you know what they do? They go back to hitting me with weapons because they got to get that energy. Okay? That's what Trump and Elon Musk is building. Elon Musk is not a savior. Neither is Alex Jones and any of these people telling you to trust these people. Don't trust them, for the love of God. Don't trust these people. And I don't believe they're people. All right? I believe you, SDL. That's the vampires. It's called vampire energy. Look it up. And they say, oh, it's from electrical energy waste. No, it's from literal vampires. Well, you don't want to smell like ammonia. Ammonia is too toxic. Just buy garlic. You'll know, Keenan. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you don't know what it is, it means it's not affecting you. You will know when you're being drained by vampires. Schizophrenic people they're not schizophrenic. They are being affected by the spiritual realm. Joshua, you don't want ammonia because ammonia is too toxic. You can kill yourself and damage your lungs. Nisara and Jasara is bullshit. What we're going into is a techno-theocracy run by blood-sucking vampires. Spider vampires, werewolf vampires, serpent vampires, lizard vampires, archon vampires, technocratic vampires, and regular vampires. Think about if you have a child. I understand, Joshua, but ammonia, if you put ammonia in your house, it will affect you. Just think about that, right? The predators, I am telling you, they are. That's what they did to me in the church, and it took me years to realize they've been Listen, I just watched a video today. Let me give you this video. I was looking for it. This is very important for me to give you. Hold on. Hold on. Let me find the video. Found it. If you don't believe me, okay, Larry Ellison is a vampire. Larry Ellison lives off of children's blood. He's an ancient vampire. And he's the one that wants to bring in the vampire Project Stargate. He's telling you what's going on now in the US government. Email me, SDL. Okay? For the love of God, you people have children. Please. Alex Jones is disgusting. But I believe that Alex Jones has been killed and replaced with an AI. That's why you got to be careful. They've been killing so-called truthers for years and replacing them with AI. And you can always tell when they're either converged, when the AI is converging upon them, or when they're fully taken over. You know how you always tell? They're always racist. And they have no morals. These are the two keys. Okay? The two keys that they've been taken over. They're racist and have no morals. Okay? I don't hate the Jews. But this shit, I hate. I don't hate Jewish people because they're Jewish. I hate what they're attempting to do and their vile wickedness. Big difference. Okay? That's what I hate. Not Jews because they're Jewish. Actions. So understand, I posted the link. Understand that if you permit this, you have children. Let me tell you what they can do with this technology, the vampires. They don't want to kidnap your children anymore. That's why they said, give us your blood. Let's build the grid. You know why? They don't want to kidnap your children anymore. Carrie Cassidy is one of them. They don't want to kidnap your children. Thank you, Keenan. Okay? Children anymore. You know what they want to do? They want to rape your children in their bedroom. This technology would allow them to do it. Okay? Anyone who's steering the people into religion, into Christianity, and then bashing other religions, anyone who never rigorously look at the crimes that religion has done to the human race. I'm not talking about the 10 Commandments. I could deal with the 10 Commandments. But I'm talking about religious system. Look at the crimes that religion has cost the human race. Anyone steering people down religion and telling people about a political savior is steering you to a techno-theocracy. They can rape your children with this tech. For the love of God, don't do it. You go through sexual violations. Yeah, you understand what I'm talking about. They don't want to be able to kidnap your children anymore. They just want to, okay, you set up the grid, you give us your blood, and we rape your children in the middle of the night. Then your children will be like, hey, mommy, someone's playing with my testicles. What is the mother going to do? Oh, he's seeing stuff. You know what they're going to do? Drug the child. Meanwhile, it's a technological vampire raping a child. That's the capability of this technology. Okay? For the love of God, you have children, you have grandchildren. Please, don't agree with these people. These people are vampires. I love you guys. Don't trust Trump. Don't trust Musk. Don't trust building Gaza, rebuilding Gaza without Gazans. The reason why they murdered 500,000 to 800,000 Gazans. What did I tell you? I told you guys this before. Israel did October 7th. It's coming out that Israel did October 7th. When you ask me, what happened on October 7th? I said, Israel killed their own people because they need to sacrifice the Gazans in order to create the energy field to build their third temple. Everything I told you is exactly what's going on. Because the whole premise of that temple runs on bloodshed. Predator, it sounds like you were chipped like me by the church. Now, all of my technology was not the church, but the last one that's mind control and torture and rape is the church. So you know, mind control, torture, and rape is what the evil church has been doing for thousands of years. So predators, it sounds like the last installation, I'm not yelling at you guys, yours is the church like mine. I have technology before the church, but I'm talking about the last installation that's causing the torture and the mind control and the AI control. I know for a fact it was the church. No pap smears. No. No, that's how they got me. And no dental implants. That's how they got the Neuralink in my head. Okay. Yes, unavenged, you got it. If I'd said, Lord have mercy. Keenan, I don't want to talk about Carrie Cassidy and what she's into and what she's not. All I'm saying is anyone leading you to a political savior is your enemy. So whether you choose to follow her, listen to her, I don't want to talk bad about Carrie Cassidy. I'm just telling you, anybody leading you to a political savior is setting you up to be chipped, drained, and destroyed. You're not speaking to someone who is telling you about this technology because I interviewed people. You're not speaking to someone who's telling you about the capabilities of this technology because I read it in the paper. There's a reason why these people do not interview me. Understand? They recycle the same people over and over and over again. That's not truth. That's mind control. SDL, that's probably how you got implanted, because the neural link in my head, the one that controls my left eye, my sinus, and my left brain, was put in there when my dentist lied and told me, I'm sorry, I'm yelling, lied and told me that one of my tooth was decaying and I had to replace it. And he implanted a dental implant with messages, went straight to my brain, took over the left hemisphere. Timbo, white hats are bullshit. I am not telling you anything that I don't know. I'm not telling you I got some secret information from a whistleblower. I am telling you because I live it. Be exist, you understand. Remember, the difference between me and them, they could talk about reptilians. I stood in front of one. They could talk, well, I stood in front of a whole bunch of them. They could talk about grays. I stood in front of them. They could talk about vampires. I engaged with a vampire. It took me years to figure out what it was. They could talk about these things. I lived it. That's the difference between me and other people. Because of the church. Okay? I was targeted because of the church. That is why I'm trying to tell you. The secret behind the New World Order is a corrupt priest class. And when I say priest, I don't mean Catholic. I mean religious. All across the board. Okay? It's a corrupt religious class. Let me say it again. The power behind the technocratic throne is a religious, corrupt priest class. Okay? It's a corrupt religious leaders. That's the power. And that is why they're telling people to become religious. Religion is the key. No, it's not. Religion is too corrupt. Morality is better than religion. Now, if you want to support me, those are the links. Love you guys. I think I've talked you to death. I loved your engagement today. Also, leave a comment. Please remember what I'm telling you. It is not technocrats. It is a religious power behind this demonic fuckery. And they're going to hive mind people magnetically. Okay? Magnetics to pull you into religion. If you feel you're being pulled into religion, it's them. Tony, I'm going to say it again. It is a corrupt, Tony, let me say it again. It is a corrupt religious class that's behind technocracy. All of it. 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 That video I just sent to you. In that video, he said, we got the whole Muslim world. They've hived the whole fucking Muslim world. The Muslim world is over 1 billion people. They're all hived. The Chinese is 1.2 billion. All hived. All hived. If you feel like something's pulling you into religion, it's them. Don't go. Preserve righteousness and purity in your heart. That is where God lives. Not in a building designed to create energy, blood energy, and feed off of you and drain you and your children. If you believe in God, then God must be in your heart, not in a building. It's love to all of you. It is a religious theocracy behind this power structure. Don't get hived. And for the love of God, don't end up like me. Suffering with torture every day. Raped and drained by vampires. Can't work 40 hours a week because I can't be in front of electronics for too long. I can't even enjoy being inside. I got to be outside. And when I'm outside, if they followed me here to another state and set up the AI infrastructure around me so they could track me up and down the streets. I am running from vampires. Now imagine this vampire inside of everyone around you. For the love of God, reject the beast. That is what Trump is setting up. And you know who's supporting him doing this? The church. Just a itty bitty amount of investigation into Trump and his ties will show you Trump is setting up the mark of the fucking beast. Just a little bit of research. And you know who's spearheading Trump and Musk? The church. Run from these people and save your soul. Love you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Peace out.